Welcome back to Tiny Table Talk. This is Crystal.
And I'm Lily.
And today we're going to be talking about things that we carry, things that we cleared, and the things that we end with us. Like the movie. No, not like that. Not like that at all.
Okay. I don't know what movie, but okay.
Do we need to take another moment of silence for the I don't know what movie, but you've seen it?
What movie?
It ends with us.
Oh,
I'm so done.
you know what? That was a real movie for those of you who watched it. And those of you who read the book.
Yeah, it was a real movie. After all that drama, I just could not
Yeah,
get into the
it's
movie anymore. It was like the book was great, but there was a lot of drama behind that movie. No more. No
yeah.
more. Okay. But anyways, that's what we're talking today. Before I get into the dream, I do want to start with the streets that I have lived on. Okay. A good friend taught me that there's meaning to everything, and there's especially meaning behind names. So tonight we're dissecting the meaning of the names of the streets that I have lived on, and how that has integrated into my life and played a role in giving meaning to parts of my life. Right? You could probably resonate with some of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could.
Okay. When I look back now, none of that feels random. You know, it started on Winona. Winona is the street that we grew up on, right? So Winona means firstborn daughter, but it also means honor, strength, and resilience. Okay.
Okay.
So from the very beginning, I wasn't just placed somewhere. I was being prepared to carry something, right? As we all are.
Mm-hmm.
As we all
Mm-hmm.
learned that we are.
Yes.
Okay. So then that was the majority of the beginning of my life, right? So then as I grew into adulthood, I did move to the street called Jennifer Way. Jennifer meaning fair one, white wave and blessed spirit.
Hmm.
And a way is a path. So now we move from strength into sensitivity. Okay. Into feeling, into becoming aware of energy, emotion, and spirit. Mhm. And then after Jennifer Way came Burke Road. Okay. And Burke means to suppress, to hush something up, to keep something hidden. What?
Nothing. It's just oddly weird.
Oddly. It is oddly weird. I mean, when I think back on it, at least I can see how it fit in with my life at the
Uh,
time.
that's exactly what I'm doing because I'm like, I live like on Burke, basically.
But your street, your technical address is not Burke, right?
No.
Okay, so you need to look up the name of the street that you live on now.
Okay.
Okay, which if I'm thinking correctly, hmm, interesting. We'll
What?
talk about that later.
Okay.
So now, anyways, we are in a place of silence on Burke here, where things are not spoken, where things are buried instead of healed, right? So there's a loop though, because then I went back to Jennifer Way after Burke.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I went back to feeling, back to awareness of what had been buried, right? So I'm becoming aware of it again. Then from Jennifer Way, I went back to Winona.
So you kind of like backtrack.
Yes, back to responsibility, back to what I was meant to carry. And then I'm back at Burke.
Okay.
Back to suppression, back to what was still hidden and what was still not resolved. And now I'm on a street called Sage Trail. Sage is cleansing, and trail is the path forward. Not a
Mm.
loop like I had been doing. It's a
Mm-hmm.
direction now.
Right.
So I went from carrying to feeling to suppressing, back to feeling, back to carrying, back to suppressing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And again, right? Until I reached a place where I could finally clear it. And so our special guest, the pet bro here tonight, he found the meaning of what? The meaning of
Fairmont
Or is
Parkway.
it can represent growth, ascension, clarity and purity, peace and stability, and a spiritual journey.
Girl, if that don't make no more sense, then I don't know what does.
Exactly. Look up the meaning of the streets that you have lived on. They tell you a lot about you, surprisingly. And now I'm thinking about the fact that you've only lived on one street your whole life. Hmm. That's actually, he says, should I move? um, that's actually very fitting too. This is the symbolism of carrying responsibility. That's you. Hmm.
Yeah. Clock it, y'all.
Anyways, so when I had this dream about uncovering something, about seeing what had been hidden, it didn't come out of nowhere. It came after the cycle repeated enough times for me to finally be ready to see it. That's when the dream came. Where is my journal? What did I do with it?
Oh Lord, she lost her journal, y'all.
Had it. Where'd it go? I literally just had it. It's not.
You didn't put it back?
No, there's no way. I just had it. Oh, it's right there. It's under you. Like reach right there. Dang, I don't know how that happened.
It fell on the floor,
It
y'all.
doesn't want me to read it. We'll see about that. So this dream was had on November 18th, 2025. It was just a few days after we moved into this house, the Sage Trail house, right?
Okay.
Maybe it was like night 2, night 3 that I stayed here, right? So I'm just gonna read it as I wrote it. It's gonna be a little triggering, so that's your little warning.
Disclaimer.
A little triggering. I dreamt that we were going to see my uncles in Rio Bravo to investigate some kind of crime that was committed on their property. I traveled with my mom, my brother, my sister, my husband, and my daughter. When we were there, we came across a very weird scene where there were dogs that looked like Labradors, all the same color, caramel brown. They had been unalived, and I don't even know if I should use that word. Um, they were unalived and they were basically like opened from the head down to the spine and arranged in a perfect circle inside a fire pit that was made of red brick. It was weird. It was disturbing. I remember being like, "Oh my God, are those dogs?" And my sister, the cop, you were there, stayed back to investigate. And as we made our way by, there was more, but that's all I remember. Like the most of what I remember in the dream. There was more stuff to see. But that's what I really remembered. Um, and then the dream kind of jumps to a later moment when I see them put one of my uncles in handcuffs, and I'm questioning why him. They told me that they couldn't find anyone else to blame, so the easiest option was to go with him. And I was so confused. I'm like, that's not right. It wasn't him.
It's unjust.
And yeah, it was unjust. And I was able to get him out of the handcuffs, and he did not end up in jail. So we later came back home and found out that we were exposed to something dangerous. They made my sister, take some kind of deep bath, and then they gave her a shot that would require her to isolate for a few days. I was instructed to do the same, but had to go back to Mexico to do it. And when I got back to the border, I realized I didn't have any of my documents. And then I'm questioning how I even made it to and back from Mexico in the first place because my passport was expired. I was tearing my car apart at the end of the dream looking for my driver's license and couldn't even find that. So I ended up having to turn around and could never get the bath or the shot. Hmm. So trying to think where I want to go here next with the symbolism. But basically, all right, I'm going to jump back over here real quick. before I go any further, okay, we need to talk about something.
Okay.
All right. Because I know people are going to listen and wonder, is this a generational curse? And it's true. It is. It was. That's what ended up coming of that dream. It was showing me what was done that was hidden, right? So that word, though, generational curse, can create fear. It can create confusion. Um, it's a feeling of being stuck sometimes for people too, right? Which makes a lot of sense considering what we have learned, right?
Mm-hmm.
In our traditions, when we talk about generational curses, we're not always talking about something being placed on a family. We're talking about energy, patterns, experiences that were never healed and they got passed down through the lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, there are times where intention is involved. I have heard of that before, where work has been done and where energy was directed. Hell, we learned about that too. Um, and we don't deny that in our traditions. But a lot of the time, what we're calling a curse started as pain, fear, abandonment, betrayal,
Yeah.
etc.
Anger, all
Yeah,
that stuff, resentment.
yeah. Unprocessed trauma, control. And instead of being healed, it was carried. And what was carried by one soul passes on to the next. And the way that this shows up in the lineage is through patterns, right? The same cycles, the same wounds, repeating in different people. And when something isn't processed consciously, it shows up subconsciously through
Mm-hmm.
dreams, through symbols, through emotion that your body understands. But here's the truth: if something can be passed down, it can also be interrupted. So you break a generational curse by becoming aware, by questioning, by choosing differently, by doing the healing work through prayer, through energy work, and through truth. Okay? Generational curse, a generational curse only continues if it stays unseen.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to show me what needs to be worked on than through a dream? Because I'm just like all about the dreams, right?
Yeah.
And what more appropriate time to show it to me than when I'm finally here in the place where I finally feel at home, where I finally feel open to be myself, where I feel at peace on like night 2 or 3. I'm telling you. And I woke up like so confused. Normally, Crystal would have been scared of something like that, but I woke up so confused like, what the hell was that all about?
Mm-hmm.
So I dove deep, 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 deep into the where they go dream, and I got all the symbolism out. I wrote it down, um, and I didn't see it anymore as something to fear. Right? I saw it as something being revealed. So I have all my investigation written down here. I did not only the symbolism in the dream, but also the investigation into the lineage. And that's what has brought us up to this point today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, it wasn't a random dream. It was a direct ancestral message revealing the hidden story of the lineage, right? And again, I'm going to share this, knowing that we have family out there that probably knows about this. Maybe they might see this. I'll be anonymous about it, obviously, but know that it's possible to do the work to break that stuff.
Yeah.
That's my message to my family. And
Mm-hmm.
I've done it already and I can help you do it too. Right? So, um, dreaming of the fact that we went back to that specific town where the lineage originated, and the fact that I even found the stories from back then that originated there, right? The practice with us originated in the hometown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, there is, that's where our ancestors practiced, right? And that's where the family wounds originated. So the dream was about that part of our lineage, right? It's our maternal lineage.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the circle of the dogs. Dogs are representative of loyalty, protection, and innocence. So the fact that they were unalived was that the protection was violated. The circle is the symbolism for ritual, and the fire pit was showing deliberate spell work, right? Okay, I'm like next page. So this automatically showed me misuse of magic, betrayal, maybe. Um, what I later learned was to be, brujos turning against each other or innocents being harmed because, hey, somebody was getting blamed that shouldn't have been blamed.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to save that person in the dream. So there's fear in the bloodline, and there was generational spiritual contamination that happened long before we're born, right?
Yeah.
So, let me see. So the pattern that showed itself to me was that blame was put where it could easily be put, right? So
Like a
again,
scapegoat.
it falls into the same story that I later learned through the investigation. Just crazy to me. Um, what I ended up finding out about the lineage is that we come from a long line of practicing which is warlocks, curanderos, etc. Which is why we are, what is it called? We are able to do spiritual work ourselves, right?
Yeah, we got that don.
We have the don, that's as what
Yeah.
they call it, yes. And what I found is that along the way in the lineage, there was there was a lot of betrayal, there was a lot of dark magic being done, and there was a lot of blame being put against each other. So much that um, things were being done to each other. Dark
Mm-hmm.
magic was being thrown back and forth. People had to go outside of the lineage for cleanses, etc., etc. And that passed down through
Yeah.
the generations. And now we're here,
Yeah.
which is freaking crazy to me because I'm just learning now all of this.
Yeah.
And
No, I was just gonna say, I think the craziest part about it is that like people will go years, generations, decades without knowing there's a generational curse,
yes.
and then it just takes one person to like pop their eyes open and be like, wait a damn minute.
And the thing is, I was never going to speak up about this kind of thing because people think like, what the hell is wrong with her? Why she's dreaming like that, and this is what she thinks of it. But how do I say this? Not only a gut feeling, but it's a confirmation from your own spirit team because we all have one. And it's I don't know. It's going to present itself, like I said earlier, at the right time to the right person
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes things want to break.
Yeah, and I feel like there is some times where it's revealed to people, but they're just not in the right like emotional state or the right spiritual state to be able to break through that.
Correct. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it was presented to me for a reason. It was such a random dream to be having on a random night. Coincidentally, the moment I move into this house
Yeah.
where I can finally like be myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at the point where I'm freely practicing, I'm openly practicing, and I am looking for ways to continue to heal myself and continue to expand my practice,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was going to keep my mouth shut and I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't because I found out what I found out. And then I found out that there are people in our generation that are willing to break the cycle.
Oh yeah.
And I'm freaking it makes me amazingly happy, honestly.
Yeah.
Because from the get-go, I never intended to do harm. I never intended to look into embracing the darkness and whatnot, whatever you want to call it. I was always about I'm being presented with this gift and it should be used for good and it should be used to help people.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that I don't know how that mentality is there considering our lineage and everything that I've learned about what the people before me did. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I
I'm just
think
yeah.
I think it all just comes down to the person when they do find things out, because I'm sure there's other people in our lineage that did find out about this, and I'm talking like years before. And depending on what kind of person they were and where their mentality was at, obviously they used it for bad or for good. And I think it ultimately comes down to that decision making on whether you want to be good or bad in this world.
Yeah, and then another thing is not only that, people found out and made other decisions, but also people found out and didn't want to address it because come to find out, a lot of people that are still, in this generation living with us amongst us have seen things that we cannot even imagine, but they won't speak on it because number 1, it was traumatizing.
Hmm.
Number 2, it's not what they were it's not what they wanted to do, not what they are into, not what they want to lead their life with, right?
Right.
It takes a very strong person to practice spirituality,
Right.
and it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
So even though you're in the lineage, it's not always going to be for you. But
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I also feel like there's a lot of people that will see these kinds of things, and they might have the courage, or they do have the courage to want to speak up about this and change things, but then they're hushed and they're like threatened. And they're like,
Oh
you
yeah.
can't speak on this. Like
Yeah.
obviously in cultures, like if something happens, you stay quiet or you'll be bashed out of this family or whatever it is. Like that there's multiple cases of that I've seen. As far as me personally, I've seen that.
Yeah, and generational curses manifest in many ways. Like we said, patterns are a huge one. You look at families where you see that everybody is always broke in that family, for example,
Hmm.
for no reason. Like money comes and money goes, and they can never hold on to money. That's an example of a generational curse. Another good example of a generational curse that we carry that I just learned about is that the women in my lineage have a hard time. It takes work for them to stay with one person or in their marriage.
Hmm.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't know that was an actual like
Now wait, do you mean like it takes a lot for them to stay in the I guess their marriage happily,
yeah,
or they'll stay there but they're unhappy?
right, right. Happily basically and
Okay.
most of the time I'm trying to look at I was trying to study that because I just learned about it days ago. But I haven't been able to ask the questions I need to ask. But the idea is that there is abandonment amongst the women, and that the curse actually came from a maldición put on a woman from a man somewhere in our lineage.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Well,
that's something new I learned, something to look deeper into. But it's crazy to me. Like anything, almost anything and everything is a good example of a generational curse that's obviously negative.
mhm.
You look at people with that negative mentality. That's another example. Um, I don't know, just those patterns that you see in families that can't be explained, like why are they the way they are type of situation,
Mhm.
is crazy to me.
Yeah. That's a
Man,
lot.
it is. It's a lot. And but you know what? You do break this stuff. And I, for example, like I've always said, I do my strongest work in the dream realm. I did break that curse in that dream because I did further investigation, further divination, I got second opinions. That part was broken by the fact that there are people in this current generation that are currently living that have chosen to um, what is it called? Practice white magic instead of black magic. Right.
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 Right. They're turning it into positivity instead of negativity.
Right, right. Not following what everybody else is doing,
Yeah.
which makes me so happy for our family.
Yeah. There's hope there.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the goal right now is to continue to flourish and spread that energy throughout the rest of the family. I don't know who doesn't practice. Maybe someone's gonna see this and come out and be like, "Hey, like, I didn't know that you knew about this." That would be cool. I don't know. But anyways, this is the point though when I'm learning about this and I'm speaking with people and it happened exactly that way that somebody saw the podcast, reached out to me and was like, "This is what I do." And I was like, "I've been looking for you for years now." This is where Reiki steps into
Mhm.
our stories
Mhm.
here.
Mhm.
So, Reiki, this is where it came in, right? When we first started working, well, this is actually very recent, not when I first started working. Um, Very recently, after one of our episodes, one of our cousins hits me up, and we're just talking, and I find out that I thought she was just a massage therapist. My cousin is a Reiki healer too.
Mhm.
One of the only ones of her kind because she incorporates Reiki into her massage therapy. And I was intrigued immediately. I was like, I have to go see you because I've been looking for a Reiki healer for ages.
Yeah.
Ages. Oh my God. And sorry, I just got so distracted.
Okay.
Anyways, so when we started working with our practitioner, aka our cousin, who comes from our lineage, this wasn't random at all. This was intentional healing.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
we have the same ancestors. We
Mhm.
share the same lineage, well, at least part of the same lineage. We also have I think on her, it's her paternal lineage, and for us, it's our maternal lineage. And we still have the opposite lineage, but we share some ancestors.
Yeah.
Um, I want to ask you though, because you went before me. What did you feel after your session?
Oh Lord.
And you just went again.
I actually just went yesterday. Um After the first, okay, so obviously she had reached out to us and she was like, "Oh, I think she commented on one of the posts and she was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I do massages and blah blah blah." And I'm like,
Oh
"I
yeah.
have been looking for somebody to give me a massage like forever because I'm an unk, y'all. So I need a massage." And so I was like, I immediately texted her. I was like, "Hey, when do you have availability? Like, let me know. I will definitely go." And so ended up going. Um, I will say the minute I walked into the room that she gives the massages in, it was like a whole different like world. Like completely different level like frequency. Like I walked in and I was like immediately felt like at peace. Can't explain it. Just at peace. I felt comfortable. I felt very like very open to whatever was going to happen because still at the time when I first walked in, I didn't really know what was going to happen. And so she started massaging me. She asked me, like what are the areas that you feel like more pain at or discomfort at? And so she proceeded with massaging me and like incorporating all the Reiki healing and all that stuff. Um, should I go like into detail like what she did or
If you want, really, I'm looking for like, well, yeah, you probably could. What you felt as it was going on, and what I guess because she was working her way through the chakras, she was doing different things, right?
right.
So, what was it? What are the kinds of things that you felt during the process, and then how did you feel after the process versus the beginning?
Right. So before like obviously before I walked in, I have been on this whole healing journey. Before I walked in, there was like heavy weight on me, just like a lot of things. I didn't feel at peace. I didn't feel like I don't know how to explain it. I just was not on a good frequency, right? Walked in, immediately changed, just walked in. Um, got the massage. She used crystal rocks to put in my hands and on my body where my chakras are at. And at the very end of it, because she'll check your chakras before. And I'll tell you right now, like my heart chakra was closed. My is it celestial?
Sacral.
Sacral, sorry. sacral chakra was closed and my root chakras were completely closed. All of those, like, no movement, no sign of like open at all. After the massage, those same chakras were still stubborn. Still stubborn. And she was like, "No, like we got to get them open." Like, and she was not giving up. I will say this about her, like if you guys decide to go with her or anything, she's the kind of person that will not stop until she sees that movement.
Mhm.
And so she was like, "No," she's like, "You're holding on to something and you need to let it go. You need to let it go right now." And I'm going to say this because this part, I was like on the verge of crying when she said this. She was like, "Okay, I need you to like take some deep breaths and I need you to imagine a cave, right? A huge cave, mountain cave, right? And I want you to imagine God is standing on top of that cave. And you're going to walk up to that cave. You're going to set down whatever it is you're holding on to. You're going to leave it at God's feet and you're going to walk away and leave it there." Kid you not. She was like, I don't know what she was doing because I had my eyes closed. But when she said that, I imagined it. I imagined like the white being in my body connecting to the ground. And I imagined myself like actually walking up to this cave, leaving my problems there, and walking away. And as soon as I imagined that, she was like, "There it is." She's like, "I don't know what you were holding on to. What it is that you left at his feet. But you just opened up all of your chakras." And I was like, sorry, y'all. It's like funny now, but in the moment, I was like, it's a feeling you honestly can't quite explain. But after that whole session, she was like, "I'm gonna leave. You know, like take your time getting up, blah blah blah." And I just remember laying there, and I was like, "I'm not the same person I was when I walked in. I am not the same person." And then I finally like stood up, and it was like, I kid you not, guys, like a whole week after, including a week. I think it went on for like 2 weeks where I felt like I could fly. My body was light. I was in like a very positive spirit. I had clarity of everything that I wanted to do in my life in that moment. And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is like an experience that's unexplainable, but I would highly recommend it to anybody who is interested in it or just even if you don't believe in it, I highly recommend that you go and try it out to see it for yourself, to feel it for yourself." That's all I can say. Like I don't even know how else to like describe it. I just came out as a completely different person and even after it, me and her talked a little bit and she was like, "I wish I could take a picture of you guys like when y'all walk in and when y'all walk out because y'all don't even look like the same person that y'all look like when you first walked in." Crazy stuff, y'all.
It is so crazy, dude. Like, I like hearing your story because it's similar to mine.
Yeah.
um, wowzers. Okay. And you're still, well, you went back again.
Right. Yeah, I did go back yesterday. It was super last minute, by the way. I was like, "Hey, girl, you got availability? Because I need a massage." And so I went, and it was almost the same experience, except this time, like, I felt, what's the word? I felt the lightness. I felt like I could fly. Like, I felt like a completely different person. But
You could feel like you gave in easier.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would say that's what it was. Like, because I already knew like the routine, and I didn't know exactly what she was gonna do, but like again, whatever she does, it works.
And you feel great now.
Yes,
I love that for you. Oh my God.
yeah, it was very much needed. I feel like I've been going through this healing process, and these massages and the Reiki healing really does make a difference for you.
Mhm.
So
Agreed. Agreed. 100% agreed. Um, okay, so I went like a week or two after you, something
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
It wasn't, oh, it was right at the end of March because I was going to do it to set off the new month, right?
Hmm.
That's right. So I went with her at the end of March, and I walked in and I felt I was I could feel the energy of the room because I walked in overwhelmed.
Mhm.
I walked in overwhelmed. I was stressed out. I could feel my heart beating in my chest. Like I wanted to be relaxed so bad and I just could not. And I did walk in and I could feel the energy in the room and I was like, I'm really gonna enjoy this. Girl, I did more than enjoy it.
Yeah.
um, basically, I we got started. So I told her that I've been having lower back pain, like chronic lower back pain that just doesn't ever go away. It's always lingering until it decides to flare up and get super bad, and then I can't walk. Right. So that's what I explained to her. She had me stand in, in position, in correct position, and my body was like this. Like, I didn't have a straight stature, so my hips were, like, out of balance or, like, I don't know what they were off,
Mhm.
basically. So, she was, like, immediately clocked that, and that's what she said she was gonna work on. So, she looks at me and she's like, "Is it okay if I do your feet?" And I'm like, "'Cause y'all know I freaking hate my feet." First of all, I hate my feet in general. Second of all, other people touching my feet freaks me out. Like, this is why I don't
Mhm.
get pedicures.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, something in my head was like, just do it, just let it be. I just taken a shower. I'm like, they ain't that bad. I'm like, they ain't paying it either, but
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, no, that's fine. And she's like, but the working on the feet is gonna make a huge difference because that's what you walk on all day. That's where you take in energy all day long. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that makes sense. I'm like, and that really speaks volumes because I am not the person who takes care of their feet. And I'm like, well, no wonder you're all effed up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I was like, yeah, go ahead. She started on my feet. And I could not relax. My eyes were closed and I could just feel them just like, how I don't know, when you're having anxiety or racing thoughts and your eyes are just like darting back
Mhm.
and forth. They were doing that. And I'm like, why can't you relax? Like, relax, Crystal. And she started doing this thing where she pulled my feet out to start pulling my hip joint out to start getting that loosened up,
Mhm.
and I could feel in the base of my lower spine that it was tugging back at her. And I was like, what the hell
Yeah.
am I feeling?
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. And she basically, I could just feel that she was fighting with my chakras because they were all closed at the beginning too, and no movement at all whatsoever, all the way down. And I she fought with me all the way. She used the cups all over my body. She opened up my pelvis. Like, it was crazy how much I was storing in my root chakra, in my womb, all that stuff in the pelvic area in general. Because when she opened up my pelvis, your girl was sobbing. Like, and I don't even like knew what it was about until, like, realizations that started hitting me. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm finally, oh, because she sprayed something over me. As
Mhm.
soon as she sprayed something over me, I felt myself just,
Mhm.
okay, okay. And when she opened up my pelvis, I started having realizations. I started sobbing. I was releasing everything, I guess, that I had been holding on to. And there's a lot of trauma there, a lot of trauma there from different, I guess, areas in my life,
Mhm.
whatever. And um, once she got past that point, it started getting easier. It started getting relaxing. She did touch my upper back a bit because she says I have something up here that needs to be worked on. But the majority of the time was spent working on my lower body.
Mhm.
And it made the biggest freaking difference. Like, when I tell you that, well, first of all, she opened all my chakras. Them things were swinging when she went and checked my chakras at the end, and I was so happy. And I could feel the difference. I could feel the clarity, the relief, the relax, everything, the calm. It was beautiful. I could feel the light like within me actually shining
Yeah.
out of me, And she told me too, she's like, "You walked in here like looking like," and she said that she's always seen a sadness in my eyes. And
Oh, yes,
I
yes.
was like, but she's not the only person I've heard that from. I've heard that on several different occasions, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"What you talking about? I'm happy." And she's like, "You should see your face right now." And I did. She had me look in the mirror, and I was like crying.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful experiences that I've ever been through. I felt so different. I still feel so different. I feel like I am open. I feel like my readings got sharper. I feel like I'm more in tune with my higher self. Um, and it's been quite the journey. And then I even had like emotional downloads afterwards. Like the next morning, I was still crying for no reason.
Mhm.
Reasons that I know deep inside, but like for no reason, just crying. Um, and it's all been like weird to like try to figure out and learn. And I'm looking forward to going back to her again. I'm going to be going monthly. Um, but it is really beautiful, and it's more beautiful to me that she is she's in the lineage, we're family. She you know what she did is that she didn't bring anything new, right? I don't think she brought anything new for either of us. What she brought was awareness of what was already there.
Mhm.
um she brought it to the surface so that it could be released,
Yeah.
and I think that is so beautiful. I don't know, I
Yeah.
think things like that are beautiful.
I think it's beautiful too. And I also think I know when I went yesterday, she explained that uh we're like um I think she said lotuses, like a lotus flower.
Hmm.
That when you go with her, obviously she's healing you with like the Reiki stuff. So when you first go, it's like taking down that first layer and then the second layer. And then you keep going. And like this last time yesterday when I went, she was like, I feel like we peeled back a layer, but there's a lot more to go. Because she said like she felt like there's still stuff that needs to be, healed from as far as like whatever it is that I've gone through in my life. So I think I love the way she explains things. She has like the perfect words. I suck at explaining things, but she has the perfect words.
We need to bring her. We need to
We
bring her to
do, we
talk over
do.
here. Yeah. And honestly, I really want to honor this, right? Because she's not just anybody. Again, she is somebody that worked on us from the same lineage, but she's also someone who is choosing to heal instead of repeat.
Yeah.
And that matters.
Yep.
She's one of us.
Mhm. It really is.
So, yeah. When I look at this, when I look at everything now, the places, the patterns, the dreams, it all follows the same cycle. It's carrying, it's feeling, suppressing, repeating again and again until it's finally seen. And at the moment that it's seen, it's released. That's the biggest pattern that I have, found in all the work that we've done. That's freaking crazy to me. Like, all it takes is just to be seen. All it takes is to acknowledge a trauma to be able to fully release it.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing about suppressing. That's the big thing about shadow work. That's the most important thing about processing anything is being able to acknowledge it in order to release it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because if you're not acknowledging, you're living in denial at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to acknowledge and just to like give an example. Like if you know deep down in your intuition that you're unhappy with your life, or you're unhappy with the situation, or you're unhappy with your job, or you're unhappy with your relationship, or unhappy with your family, or whatever it is that you're unhappy with, it's up to you to make that decision to change what's going on with you. Like it, no one else is going to come and save you. Ultimately, no one else is going to come and save you. So it's your decision in life whether you want to stay in the situation that you're in, or if you want to go the opposite direction. Take that leap of faith, because at the end of the day, when you take the leap of faith, it's always the best decision you've ever made in your life.
And you have no idea until it happens.
Until it happens.
Take the risk. Oh my
Take it.
God.
Just do
I have
it.
such a great example, actually. I have another good friend that I was talking to, right? And come to learn that, this person has been through like all kinds of crap. Like I'm talking about dark things. And now at this point in their life, like everything is going in their favor. But what did it take to get there?
Yeah.
Come to find out, it took, having to give up everything that they believed they wanted, right? And walk away from it all and start fresh. And it's so freaking crazy because that same friend will tell me, like, I did it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right. You're right. I will get there.
Yeah, don't let fear control your life, because life is too damn short
Yeah.
for you to sit there in misery when life is meant to be
Lived.
lived to the full happiness. You know what? That's crazy that we both said that at the same time. It's meant to be lived. You got to be happy. Life's way too short. I mean, you really don't know when it's your last day, when it's the last time you're going to see a person, speak to them, or whatever it is. So just take the leap of faith, choose happiness, and I don't know, man. Live your best life. That's
Dude, for real,
live your best life,
that's so
honestly.
crazy to me because I've gone all these years saying live your best
Live your
life.
best life.
And I didn't truly start freaking living my best life till just recently. Like, Crystal, you've been up talking to yourself all these years just to not not to do it until now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. So I'm grateful for, people like our cousin, people like my friends that sit there and show me every day that healing is possible in many different ways too. It's not just spiritually, but healing and happiness and just like we said, living your best life is definitely possible.
Yeah.
You just have to choose to do it.
You gotta choose it. Just choose it. Just go with that gut feeling. The gut feeling is what should lead you in life.
Mm-hmm. So, all this to say that I am no longer here to carry a cycle. We are here to close it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe things that come up in your dreams aren't there to scare you, they are there to show you what's ready to be released.
Yep.
So, pay attention to your dreams.
Yep. And your gut feeling.
Oh yeah, that was a great chat.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I loved it.
I liked it too. Considering that last week was just chaotic.
Oh yeah. Last week was crazy.
This week has been chaotic.
It has been chaotic.
It has been chaotic for both of us, dude.
But everything I think like the solar systems are aligning or whatever it is. I don't know.
Oh,
Something's
it's
going
like
on.
7 or all the planets are going into what is it, Taurus or Aries or I don't know what right
Yeah.
now, and it's been just crazy. For me, it's been it's been so crazy, but you know what? You know what I do got to say about that? I love a good return to sender.
Well, damn.
Oh my God. Yeah, no. I mean, we can go into that deeper later, but
Yeah. We got stories for that later.
we do. We do. Are you having a good week? Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. At least someone's having a good week. Oh, here we go. He just wanted the endorsement. Peptides make my life easier. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what, guys? We will catch you on the next one. I don't know what we're gonna discuss like next. Oh, you know what? Next table talk, we're gonna discuss some real brujeria that we heard about.
Mm. Yes, we
Yes,
are.
yes,
Y'all
and
are gonna like this one.
how that real brujeria landed somebody in jail, and then later on changed their whole fucking life. I don't know. I just said a bad word. I'm sorry,
It's okay.
guys.
We forgive you. No.
Yeah. No, that was a crazy one too. And I think that it's gonna be a good story to tell. I'm excited. Okay. Anything else, Lily?
And that's all.
That's all we got. All right, guys. This is Tiny Table Talk. We'll catch you at the table next time. Have an amazing rest of your week, and we'll see you next week.